Crimson Desert on the Steam Deck. Now, this game came out about 9 days ago, and I immediately ran over to my Steam Deck to make a tutorial video for you guys. And honestly, I rushed through this video and I said it wouldn't run. On one hand, I saved you some money because clearly the developers didn't optimize the game all the way. But on the other hand, I was wrong and I'm sorry. After digging into it, doing my own research, going through Reddits, going through forums, testing my own settings, I got this game to run. And not just run, I actually got it to run smooth and make it enjoyable. Now I know there are gonna be people out here saying, you're wasting your time, it's only for PC, it's only for console, 30, 40, 50 frames per second, that's terrible. And yeah, I get it, 30 frames per second is on the lower side and I'm aware, but you can't compare this to PC and console, especially playing on a full-size monitor or a 49-inch monitor at that. This Steam Deck is a 7-inch screen and it's just not the same. On a screen this size, it actually looks better than you'd expect and it changes the whole experience. Even 128KB mentions this. You have to ignore the FPS counter on this device. And honestly, I agree with that 100%. But this game feels really good to play, so if the Steam Deck is the only device you have, it is absolutely playable. In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up your Steam Deck so Crimson Desert can actually boot and run. And I'll walk you through in-game settings to make it look even better. So this is going to be in two parts. First, getting the game to run. Second, optimizing the settings. I'll also leave timestamps below so you know exactly where you jump if you need it. And real quick, if this is your first time stopping by the channel, my name is Christian Herrera. I appreciate you being here. If you like videos like this, tutorials, real world testing, reviews, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And when you engage with these videos, it actually helps me stay motivated to continue making content for you. So without even holding you back any further, let's go ahead and jump into the Steam Deck. Okay, now that we're over here on the Steam Deck, I want you to go ahead and boot into your desktop mode, okay? In this desktop mode, this is where we're gonna get our GE Protons. So let me explain what a GE Proton is. GE Proton is something Steam uses to be able to launch certain games or certain applications, and sometimes developers go in there and tweak things that are needed to get that specific game to run. And in my case, again, I couldn't get Crimson Desert to run at all, and then once I got this GE Proton, which it's free, it ran flawlessly, and then after that I had to tweak some settings. So this is considered the first part of the tutorial, just getting Crimson Desert to run, and I'm hoping this will help. Yes, you probably have already tried uninstalling and reinstalling games. I did that too. Checking the integrity of the files, I did that too. And then doing some other minor tweaks, pushing buttons within the settings. Again, I did that too, but this is the one that actually helped me. And this is only my second tutorial, so give me some grace on this. I'm hoping that this is gonna help you, but let's go ahead and get right into it. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go over to our discovery, okay? This is the software center where we're gonna download a certain application, and the 3 letters that I want you to put in is PRO, Pro. And go ahead and push enter. One of the first applications that should pop up is Proton Up QT. We're gonna go ahead and download that. I already have it, but go ahead and download that, and once you get it, go ahead and exit out. Again, keep in mind, a lot of these things don't prompt you, thank you for downloading or complete, so you just kind of have to trust the process. So once that's downloaded, then the next thing we're gonna do is go to Application Launcher. Okay, once you go into Application Launcher, you're gonna do the exact same thing, PRO, and then push enter. And you're gonna see Proton Up QT is there. So click into that, and once you click into that, it's gonna pop up a little window just like this. You're gonna see here at the bottom left, add version. Go ahead and click there. And on the compatibility tool, I want you to click into it and make sure you're on GE Proton. Once you're on there, 1034 is the one that worked for me. I also suggest that you get 1033 because that's a little older and people might have been messing inside that GE Proton to get this game to run. So you can try both, but this tutorial is based off 1034. So grab 1034. Once those are selected, just click install, that easy. Again, it doesn't prompt you that you've downloaded it, but you should know you have it. Once that's said and done, literally, that's all we're gonna do for portion 1 of this video is just grab that. So go ahead and return to the game mode. Okay, once we're in game mode, the next thing I want you to do is obviously go into Crimson Desert and ensure that it's all up to date. Right here it should say update if there's something needed. I had something last night, so just make sure everything's updated. And then we're gonna go ahead over here to manage and go to the gear icon. So go ahead and click into there, and then from here, click on properties. Once you click on properties, we're gonna go down to compatibility, and we are gonna make sure that that's checked. So once that's checked, you're gonna get this option to go ahead and click on Proton 34, and you can go ahead and check if Proton 33 is here too. This is how you verify that you have it. So click between those two, but I'm clicking Proton 1034. Once that's done, you literally just back out and you can go ahead and see if it can run and boot up Crimson Desert. So I'll go ahead and start that for you. Now, I want to mention this real quick. One of the first things that's going to happen is it's going to take extremely long to get this game to boot up the first time. Once you get it to boot up and get your settings exactly how you need, then it should boot up a lot faster. Shaders should complete a lot easier, and that should be it. And for me, you're seeing this message because I also downloaded DLSS FSR4 to try to test for you guys, and I wasn't a fan of because you have to keep applying these settings back and forth, and then also I wasn't a fan of the fact that it only really looked good when you're standing still or there was not enough NPCs. This version that I'm telling you and teaching you about is just a plug and play situation. You can boot it up, play, and just enjoy the game without having to keep tweaking settings all the time or rebooting or redoing commands, whatever the case may be with this DLSS. Now, it could be better further in the future. At the time of this video, it was not working well. So we'll just get this to boot up. And I'm gonna speed past this so you don't have to wait that long here, okay? Okay, now you see that it's starting to boot up here. That's pretty much confirmation. And if you can get to the title page, again, that's a success. You're now getting the game up and running. And one of the first things that I suggest that you do here is go to settings and immediately change all the settings. That way, when we truly boot up into the game, it's easier to boot in and it's not bringing in so much power and try to get the Steam Deck to do all these things. You're at the lowest settings and it can just boot up a lot easier. From there, we'll tweak correctly, but this is now entering into part 2 of the video. Let's go ahead and get lossless scaling. Let's go ahead and get all the things in Decky to get this thing to run nice and smooth on this Steam Deck. Now that we know it runs, let's go ahead and exit out of this. We're gonna go ahead and go back to Steam Deck. And on Steam Deck, you're gonna go ahead and go to lossless scaling, okay? So here it is for me. I believe lossless scaling is roughly around $7, and you are gonna have to purchase this. Of course, also purchase the game and the Steam Deck, but $7 is about the only amount of money you're gonna spend in order to get these graphics to go up. And it works on any other game too, and it runs in the background, so just keep that in mind. This is a pretty cool tool to have to just up your frames, up some of the quality of some games. So $7 on this, make sure you purchase this, okay? After you purchase this, let's go ahead and head over to the desktop one more time. Okay, now that we're back here at the desktop, there are a couple things that we're gonna have to do, okay? The first thing that I want you to do is I want you to go ahead and open up Firefox. When you open up Firefox, I'm gonna go ahead and make this big for you guys. We're gonna go ahead and just type in Decky, just like that, and then push enter. It should be the first thing that pops up on Google. Once you have that on Google, go ahead and click into it and then click download. That's simple, okay? Once you have it in download, go ahead and open it up in your folders. So click this little folder icon right here and it should open up. Let me go ahead and exit out the background for you. So now that you have it here, I've done this 3 or 4 times for you guys for the tutorial, but we're gonna go ahead and drag this onto the desktop. And once you have it on the desktop, then you should be good. Another thing we're gonna do next now, we're gonna go ahead and go into system settings. And from system settings on the left side, we're gonna scroll all the way down to the left until we get to users. Why are we doing this? Because when you need to prompt something on the Steam Deck, and especially using Linux, you have to be able to input a password. And that password is going to allow you to make all those changes that you need on your device. It's almost like a verification. Are you sure you want to do this? So yes. So we're going to go ahead into users, then go to change password and make sure those passwords are identical. And then once you put set password, you should be good. And it's not gonna prompt you successful or anything, you just kind of have to trust this process, okay? So once that's done, we're gonna go back into Firefox one more time. What you're gonna type in here in Firefox is GitHub lossless. Just type that in, and one of the first things that should pop up is a release from Jason Derulo. Quick shout out to Jason. Thank you so much for making these and keeping up with these updates. It's honestly a pleasure to be able to do this to our Steam Deck, so thank you. Now you're gonna see a couple versions here and you're probably like, oh gosh, which one should I get? Do not get the pre-release. I ended up getting the pre-release and it was actually no good, no bueno, so make sure you do not get that and get the latest version. This is a little bit more established and you can ensure that everything's up to date, and this is how I got Crimson Desert to run as well with lossless scaling. Again, keep in mind, this will not work. I tried it, this one did. This is a developer mode for games like this, but for some reason at the time it was not working for me, so stick with this one. Once you click into it, you're gonna see Decky LSFG VK. Go ahead and download that in zip form, and here, just keep that in your download folder. Just remember the name of it, okay? The next thing we're gonna do, back to the desktop page, so go ahead and exit out of this, and now we're gonna go ahead and click Decky installer. Here's where I'm telling you it's gonna need your admin and password, so go ahead and type that in. And once that's typed in correctly, it should bring you up into this Decky installer. Now, here's what we're gonna do. We're going to update to the latest release. That's the one that you should click on. Do not do pre-release, and if you already have it installed, you'll see these two other options, but for you, you should only probably see these two, and you're gonna do update to the latest release. Once that's done, you're gonna push OK. Okay, this one actually gives you a verification, and once it's verified, install verified, installer can now be closed, you're good. Go ahead and close that, and now we're gonna go right back into the Steam user interface. Okay, now that we're here, on the right side of your controller, or on the right side of the Steam Deck, you're gonna have those three little dots, which is the quick settings. Go ahead and click on the quick settings for me, and go all the way down to that plugin at the very bottom. Once you click on that plugin, you're gonna see you should only probably have MU Decky, and then we're gonna get the rest of what we need installed, okay? So once you go there, I want you to go to this gear icon, the settings icon, and click into it. The first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go into general, and then we're gonna go all the way down and ensure developer mode is on. So make sure that's on or none of this will work. So once that's on, we should be good. Then we're gonna go down into developer, and we're gonna install plugin. Go ahead and click browse and go down into your downloads folder. In this folder, you should have gotten that Decky LSFG VK. Now again, I have multiple versions because I've downloaded this multiple times for this tutorial to get some practice for you guys. So go ahead and click that, and once you click in that, you're gonna click install. And that should bring you back here now, and you should have this Decky LSFG VK. I want you to go ahead and click into that now. At the very bottom, you're gonna see some things, and it's gonna say not installed, and then LSFK installed. So now what you're gonna do is you're gonna click install LSFG, and then you're gonna make sure you install Lossless Scaling plugin. So those should be red for you. It's green for me because I've already done it. But other than that, that pretty much means that you have Lossless Scaling hooked up. Now the best settings for this is you're gonna go up to the very top here, and you're gonna make sure you're on 2x. You can try 3, you can try 4, but closer to the bottom half of these numbers, the more better performance you get, and that's what I'm looking. I'm trying to find a perfect balance between good settings and good quality. So good gameplay and good quality. So we're gonna go ahead and just keep it on 2x. Now scale flow, this is super important. Make sure you're between 50 and 60. Again, on the lower side, you get better performance. On the higher side, you start getting better graphics. So 50 and 60 is a good sweet spot. You can mess with that a little bit. And here, we're gonna go down, and we're gonna enable this WoW 64 32-bit games. Now this allows your GE Proton to work alongside Crimson Desert, because at the time it wasn't working for me, so make sure that's turned on. And then from here, here's what we wanna do next is we're gonna copy this launch option. So just push A here on copy this launch option. Once you've got that copied, let's go ahead and head back to Crimson Desert. And we're gonna go back into this gear. And once you click into this gear, go back into properties. And then we're gonna go ahead and go general. And at the very bottom here, I want you to go ahead and put in that command. And this is what it should look like. So once that command is in, we should be good. You can go ahead and exit out, and we're gonna reboot up Crimson Desert and go inside the game and start changing settings. Go ahead and push play. Again, I'm gonna speed this portion up for you so you're not waiting forever, but things should be quicker now. Okay, so now we're here at the title setting. The first thing we're gonna do, I told you this earlier, is we wanna change the settings immediately. Okay, mine's gonna be a little different because I'm using a capture card, so it's picking up the display as a Dell, and that's not the same for you. You should see something else here. But full screen, make sure this is good. You shouldn't have any other options here. Make sure you're in 1280 by 720. Make sure this is off for now. Make sure everything is off. Ray reconstruction, contrast is 50, VSync is off, and brightness adjustment. Make sure you don't tinker with that, okay? Just leave that alone. Then we're gonna go over to the graphics settings and gonna go ahead and I'll go all the way to minimum. Okay, this is gonna make everything just boot up into the game a lot easier and smoother. So once that's all low, let's go ahead and push apply, and we're gonna apply the settings, and let's go ahead and get into the game. So let's go ahead and push play. Now, when we boot up, I'm gonna be in a different area because I've given this game a couple hours now, and you're probably gonna be in the tutorial portion of this game, so just keep in mind, but this all applies for you, and once we click into everything, just go back and forth, and you're gonna start seeing the graphics look a little different. You're gonna also see the frames go up in this game, and that's super important as a gauge. You don't always want to trust it, and if that number were to go away, I want you to try these settings with that number going away and see what you think. And you're probably gonna be like, whoa, these graphics look better, this was working great, and then when you turn it on, it's gonna be a lower number, you're like, what the heck? But you still want to use this as a gauge to kind of help you tinker your settings, because performance matters. But for me, I love that perfect balance of performance while not having to lose out on some graphics, okay? Now that we've booted into the game, I chose this area specifically because it had NPCs and it had a good just background, trees, mountains, castle, just a lot of things happening. But let's go ahead and jump into the settings. So we're gonna push start, and once we get into start, we're gonna go all the way over to other, so RB all the way to other, and then you're gonna go into settings right here. First thing we're gonna go into is we're gonna go back into video portion of this and make sure we're on full screen. This display right here is gonna be different for you. It should say something else because you're on the Steam Deck, and it boots in for me differently here on the resolution as well because I'm using an external monitor. But here, let's make sure we're down to 1280 by 720. On upscale mode, let's turn AMD FSR Upscaling 4.0 on for now, okay? And then upscale resolution, I actually leave off. Some people like to put this on performance to get a little bit better performance, but I actually prefer it off. I think it runs well off with lossless scaling in the background. Ray reconstruction, keep that off. Keep this at 50, VSync off, and settings off, okay? We'll go ahead and apply that, and let's go ahead and see if it makes any changes for you. And you can see at the very top left, my frames already went up. Okay, so now we're getting into 4950 frames, which is better and more playable. Now on this capture card, again, it's a little bit more blown up. When you go down to the 7-inch screen, it's gonna look a lot better than what you're seeing on my screen, but I just wanna show you and make it easier to follow along with. So now once you got a good idea of what that looks like, let's go back into the settings. Now we're gonna go into the graphics portion. So let's go over to graphics, and here is where we're gonna go into low. The only thing we're gonna move up is texture quality. Now I changed this to ultra, and I keep everything else low. Again, this game just looks different on a 7-inch screen, so this is why I do that. And this is just my preferred setting, so you might like other things on or off, but this is where you can tinker with it. I got you far enough into the game to make it look decent and run, but go ahead and apply that, and now we're gonna be able to see that this game is gonna look a little better. We dropped down again in little frames, but that's because this game now looks better. On DLSS, I was having a lot of screen tearing. Here, I'm okay. The rendering's perfect. You still see the mountain. Good game to just be able to play. And again, if this is the only device you have, it's completely playable. This is a fun game to get into. It has so much to do in this game. And also on top of that, I just wanted to just say sorry, it does run on the Steam Deck, and after I tinkered with it and downloaded some things, it's now up and running. But I hope this helped one of y'all, at least one of y'all, and for some people I know they're gonna be like, this doesn't work for me, and if that's the case, just comment down below and I'm more than happy to help you. I'll try to engage with you and comment back and forth until we find a solution, because that's my goal, is to help you guys figure out how to get this game to run. But if you like tutorials like this, make sure you push that subscribe button. And again, I hope you enjoy this game, and thank you so much for stopping by. I'll catch you in the next video. See you later.